Happy One Wheel Wednesday, everybody. My name is Scott Mendenhall. I'm so excited to be with you today as we're going to talk about the life expectancy of your one wheel. So if you're brand new or you've had a one wheel for a while and you're like, well, how many more miles can I get this out of this thing, or how long and just time span can I expect out of my one wheel? We're going to talk about that. There's a lot of determining factors in that, and I'm sure in the chat as we are live at 2:30 Central Time on this fine Wednesday. Is it the 18th?
Yeah.
Okay, that is Lily's voice in armored green today. Lily, how you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
That was it? Just good?
Good.
When was the last time you rode your one wheel?
Yesterday. I rode it yesterday.
Like
I did?
You know?
Oh, yeah, I did. I rode it.
To your car.
Yeah,
you did.
to my car.
How is it that you only know that you
I got a
rode
friend
it to
who
your
always
car?
keeps up with
If
me.
people haven't been catching on, I've not been putting the sunglasses on until after the intro just because...
Didn't even notice.
Yeah, see, people aren't even noticing these things. And then my wife over here of 23 years. How are we doing today,
Why
babe?
do you laugh
everybody?
like
Why are
that?
you chuckling?
She has no coffee this
No,
week.
because I
She
have
has
a spark.
spark.
I don't do
Maybe
both.
that explains it. No
Explains
coffee.
What?
We do.
None of us were curious about anything.
If you are wondering if we were going to debut the tasting of poop coffee, we have it ordered.
Fecal coffee.
It was not delivered on time.
We have done some research on it.
It is to be
do you feel
arriving on
better about
Friday.
that
So
research?
next Wednesday, we will have recaps from
It should be
Windman
next
race,
Wednesday, yeah.
and we will have fecal coffee for the ladies to try, in which they both said off camera, I'm not trying that.
I did not. I could care less. I
No,
will
Lily
brew
never
it.
said that. I said that on camera, that I was not going to try
I
that.
just think you're being stubborn to be stubborn. There's no reason not to try it. All the poo would be cooked out.
I said on camera, I don't need to try that. And then I said, are you going to try it?
Well, I would if I was a coffee guy, but I'm not a coffee guy, so I don't see a reason to try that coffee.
I hear excuses.
All coffee is gross to me. So why waste high quality coffee on a guy that doesn't like coffee? That's what I'm trying to say. You don't? Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. And we also are going to answer questions today from the chat today. So fire your questions away. Lily and Holly will be paying attention very strictly to the live chat to ask said questions, and we will answer those questions, okay? They can be one-wheel related. They can be political if you want. Like, sure, you can ask who I'm going to vote for. Probably not going to answer that one because
What?
I love people. But somebody would write that.
Wait, they gonna ask any question they want?
Yeah. And when I say that and I said political, someone would write down,
All right,
are you going to vote
ask
for,
some questions.
who are you going to vote for? And it's like, you first. That's how I'd
It's-
answer that.
We're going to do a football podcast before we do a political podcast.
Yeah. Vikings 2-0. Packers 1-1.
Woohoo!
That's all we really care about. As long as we stay ahead of the greasy, grimy Packers.
Ugh.
Disgust.
Who's your overall favorite one-wheeler?
Who's my overall? Like men and women together?
That was a question.
that's
Who's
a
your
good one.
overall favorite one-wheeler? Mine's CDG does everything. I always get that wrong. Sorry.
What?
CG does everything.
Is that who asked the question?
Yeah, that's my
Yes.
favorite one-wheeler too. Isn't that funny?
You're hilarious. My favorite one-wheeler is my wife. She's so hot when she's on it. But since that's so cliche, I will go to favorite one-wheeler. I've got to break it down into categories, I think, because I think when it comes to trail riding and everything trail riding is Austin Silva. Just to watch that guy look at a feature and you can just see him crunching all the calculations in his head, how one should hit that. That's so cool to ride with him. Then, like, street. Bodie's been injured for quite a bit of time, so I haven't seen him do much outside of this past weekend at the
right?
Float Life Fest. Dude was sending it on the S, which was really fun. But Kyle Hansen, street riding, love watching that guy do all crazy stuff. Anytime Flight Fins drops a video with him riding, yes, please. It's
fun to watch.
It's fun to watch. He lives up to his name, Kyle Fun Hansen. He just makes riding one wheel look like a lot of fun. So then we goes to the female side. Might surprise some of you, but watching Emma this year as a young Grom, I mean, as young as you could really be in the sport, she turned eligible age 2 months before, right? Or 2 races before being able to go pro and makes it. Just fun to watch her. She just laughs the whole time. She's polite. It's just, if that's this where we're headed in the sport, it's gonna be wild. And then if I'll choose another, would be Mercedes is fun as well, to see her fight her fear, like, because she's not just riding like normal stuff. She's doing stuff I'll never attempt, and just watch her. If you watch that, what was the 13? What was the documentary or the video they made?
113?
113, right? When you watch her in the behind the scenes crying and stuff, emotional about doing something, and then nails it, it's like, yeah, how can you not get excited about that? Well, when it comes to street stuff, I know this is a long answer, but
This is a long answer. We have a lot more questions to get to.
Street stuff, it's got to come down to two people. One would be... I'll let Holly answer, and then I'll come back to that.
For a street...
No, just favorite one-wheeler.
Oh, man. I
feel like I couldn't answer this.
don't know if I can answer that, because I think there's just uniqueness to each. That's my favorite thing about the one wheel is the community. And so, like, right off the bat, I love watching my kids. Like, I just went inside from earlier, and several of the kids were like, oh, I tried this feature down on our trails that they hadn't tried for a long time. And one was like, oh, I wiped out and is scraped up from shoulder to knees. You know, so it's like, I like watching them progress, and that's hard. I don't think I can
It's like
answer that.
you're pulling the mom card. I can't choose my favorite child, so you can't choose.
Well, no, I mean, they're all in different stages of... Legend's extremely passionate about getting better.
No, I'm not talking about favorite one-wheeler of kids.
Oh.
I'm saying just favorite kid. Okay,
Oh.
I did see somebody say who would win between me and Legend in a race. That really comes down to what we're doing. If it's a straightaway situation on roads, we've already showed me. If we go into trails, he's
a good trail rider.
He's a great trail rider. I tend to go around big drops and features, and he sends it, so he wins. And he's a great rider in trails. Even Epic is on those things. I just I want to be able to run tomorrow, and so I avoid some of those obstacles, which drastically slows a guy down. So Legend, hands down. On straightaways, I'm on a GTS. He's on a GT, so I get in there. But again, if we both were on comparable boards, that...
Whoa! Did it spill everywhere?
no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Reds and greens everywhere. It looks like a crime scene.
No.
Oh, gosh.
It splattered me.
We are not prepared for this.
Hold
It looks
on.
like, because it's red, it looks like blood's all over the floor.
I gotta go get some towels.
Uh-oh, Holly's out. She's out.
Bye, Holly.
Bye.
Thank you for doing that.
Thank you. Hopefully it doesn't stress you out. Okay, so there you go. We are going to talk about, though, the life expectancy of a one-wheel. I don't even know what to do
I
with
want to
this.
watch that back.
Why? You can't see it, I don't think. I put it too
I'm about to watch you knock your hand on it. Or
No,
how-
I hit the
Oh,
table.
it just fell off
It
on
just
its
falls off
own.
the table, yeah. Okay.
hilarious.
Life expectancy of a one-wheel. This might be frustrating to some of you on this topic. It does come down to how you ride. Let's see, we have 11 boards in the house. We have the original Pine or Onewheel Plus. We bought it when it first came out. That's the OG of Onewheels. And a year ago, the battery just went dead on that thing. Were we lucky? We weren't sending that off anything, and so you had to replace that battery. So that's from 2016 to 2024 with thousands of miles on that thing. I'd say you got your money's worth out of that thing. But I really think it does. This question will be a lot surrounding on how you ride. And so have that as a caveat to the topic. Lily, any other questions coming in?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Let's
there
hear
were.
'em.
Oh, okay. Obviously, the Float Life, maybe it's Jeff, came in and said, okay, you asked for it. Who are you going to vote for?
Who am I going to vote for? Right,
Yeah.
you first. Remember I said you're going to ask the question. You first. You put it in there and give your who's typing behind the Float Life. So you can't just who you voting for. Then I might potentially answer that question.
There are other questions, like how much wood does a woodchuck
chuck if a
and
woodchuck could
what are your
woodchuck.
thoughts on how Sam Darnold is doing?
Ooh, surprising. He was not one of my fan favorites. I was actually downplaying that guy. I didn't think he's going to do very well, so I'm shocked. But I'm not bought in 100%. I ain't drinking the Kool-Aid on him quite yet. But it's been a fun surprise. I get irritated in the rankings that the Vikings aren't moving up. It's like, come on. Undefeated. There's teams that are 0-1 or 0-2 above the Vikings. That's crazy to me. It's a rigged system. Okay, life expectancy. Let's get back to that. You know, we tend to see a lot of boards around here having to be repaired after gnarly drops. I mean, if you watch Float Life videos, they're bricking boards when they send them off tabletops, literal tabletops out of the office occasionally sometimes. And sometimes it feels like the luck of the draw when it comes to a board of a hard fall bricking your board. So it's really, you know, there's great ways to take care of your board through the winter as we're coming into fall and winter. If you leave your one wheel just sitting out in the garage all winter, not plugged in or fully charged, you're going to have problems with your battery. There is a battery maintenance you have to have on your one wheel to get the longevity out of it. As well, if you're always riding your board down to 80%, plugging it in, well, then you're conditioning your board that's all you get, so you're going to lose range. So there's a lot of, like, you got to learn on your one wheel, in anything with the battery, to have battery management more, so that you get the whole amount of battery range out of your board. And I'm not an expert on battery management. I just understand that. The great thing about our cell phones is it does it on its own. I don't know if you've ever seen where your phone will say, "We'll finish fully charging by this time," because it's trying to preserve the life of your battery. I think, at least. Sometimes I feel like they're working against me, so I'll get an upgrade. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Right, Lil? You
want to upgrade?
No. I'm just saying sometimes I feel like they sabotage my phone to make me want to get an upgrade.
Oh.
We could go to Holly's shot really quick, you're going to just see her. She's over here cleaning on her hands and knees. Cinderella. Thank you for cleaning that up. It's everywhere.
It got on the walls?
Well, yeah, it exploded. That was like $100 mistake right there, actually.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know. Reds and greens are spendy. Look at this. Oh, you can't see it. It looks like blood is sitting on my desk.
Sean Paul says, gotta take care of the boards. Don't let them sit fully charged. Pull the bumpers off and dust them out. Proper maintenance is that you get better life.
There you go. There you go. We tend to do really good on our board management, as I'm cleaning up my mess here still. When we ride in winter and you get the snow on there and maybe potential salt, we're really good at almost weekly popping off everything and cleaning the salt out of there so we don't get rust and things of that nature. The other thing that helps your board is, I don't know the actual, somebody's going to tell you the year or life expectancy of a bearing, but it should be mentioned. You should look at your bearings because if they're starting to look rusty and dusty, it's time to get new bearings put on. You can send that. I don't know if Float Life still does this, Lil. You used to be able to send your board into Float Life and they'd put bearings on and stuff.
They're in the chat, so.
I think you could send your board to them. I know Onewheel now offers that, which is fairly new development for Onewheel, that you can send it in and get the stock bearings on. If you go to Float Life, you could potentially upgrade your bearings if they still offer that service. So bearings, that's a big upgrade from rusty bearings to new bearings. We recently did that in 3 of our boards. We've had to put new bearings in, and it's not because we rode in snow. It's just, I don't know, there's like 1,000 miles on the board, and I was trying to just...
He says, no, we don't work on boards.
Oh, didn't they used to? I thought that was... I just remember videos where you guys used to allow people to send them in and stuff.
Was that a long time ago?
Yeah, back in the day, OG days. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But I thought early on... Speaking of early on... Float Life, do you remember this? My first purchase from you, and I still have them. I think you guys called these the float plates. This was before bang bumpers.
Yeah.
This was how you protected your board and stuff. Still have them. It was for the XR days. I don't know why I've kept them, but I have. A little nostalgic.
Well, wait. They just are collecting dust?
Yeah, I don't have an XR.
Why don't you get rid of them?
Well, it's that nostalgia of a little bit when I speak about being around in the sport for such a long time. I got the OG float plates.
Sean Paul says the videos were them working on their own boards.
Maybe it was. Maybe maybe I'm remembering wrong. But anyways,
you're only human.
Thank you. I'm an imperfect human at that. You can actually though order bearings from that. I do know that for sure. Like when you get the 5-inch hub from them, you choose your bearings. It's not that hard of a switch out, but nonetheless, board maintenance will give longevity to your board. This probably leads into another question. How do you buy a used board? Right now, I mean, we just had somebody that we're pretty close with bought a board with like 60 miles on it, a GT. It might even have less than that. Somebody rode it I think it had less, to be honest with you. Rode it a few times, didn't like it, and just sold it for like $1,300. I was like, dang, that's the deal. Carbon fiber. It was the one of the bundle packages of the GT, and they picked it up. Good snag on their part. Also, again, I know everybody's going to want a year on your board. It's just that's so hard to lock it down. Again, out of 11 boards, 12 boards that we've had to send 3 boards in to get fixed. Is that right? Only 2 boards. We've only had to put 2 boards back in to get fixed. We had one where battery went bad and another where a controller went bad, and that's it. And we ride these things year round.
Pints in?
We have never sent a pint in to Onewheel. When you do say pints, we bought 8 pints at one shot or 6 pints at one shot with the help of Onewheel for Christmas when they first came out. And those pints, but again, they're our kids' pints. They didn't really, they weren't really taking care of the battery through winter and things of that nature. So half of those had to get new batteries in them. So for the most part, you're going to get a good amount of quality miles in life out of your Onewheel, unless you are pushing the limits where, again, I'm using Float Life as an example. They push the boards. But we were but what was it? Was it May? April, we were in Texas, ladies?
Yes, April.
April, we went to that event, and a lot of boards were getting tumbled around on a very rocky course, and boards were being bricked and had to get sent in. So sometimes conditions matter to the longevity of that. I cannot stress is if you're not going to ride for the winter, battery maintenance. Don't put it away fully charged and don't put it away empty. It's like that 30% mark. And then partway through the winter, turn it on, ride it around. It's good for the board. Any other questions coming in?
No.
You've forgotten, haven't you?
No, I've been looking at the chat. I always look at it.
She's been looking. Okay. For those that are watching, maybe you came in late, we're letting you fire questions away on any topic about one-wheeling and things like that. The Float Life Fest just happened this past weekend with some surprising results. Again, we didn't do
I feel like I didn't see a whole lot.
Yeah, it was hard to track. I think what you're finding this time of the year, that the races, this one and then Windman this weekend, they're amazing races, but there's a lot of fatigue in the racing circuit. That's the racers. That's the people posting.
I know, I'm tired. I'm just kidding.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm just kidding.
You are something else. You find yourself really
For your
funny.
comic relief.
Just kidding.
Okay, so what, Lil, somebody looking this up, the Float Life Fest results. The winning male pro was Connor. Is that right?
I think so.
Oh.
That's awesome.
And Luke Austin was third.
Holy. The brackets? Is that what I'm looking at? Holy. Oh, that's 2023.
And then is there a list? Float Life is asking, is there a list of who won all the categories? I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, I can't find it.
I've looked for multiple days.
And maybe we missed it, but to my point, I do think, and this leads me into another conversation perhaps we'll go right into. As we come to a close of the ORL and races, somehow to help this sport and races continue to grow in popularity and fan bases, somehow and we tried to help this at the races we were at, is documenting who's winning and losing so people can follow it. Because here we are Wednesday after the event, and you're going,
It's kind of ghostly. Like there's no, like
who
you don't
won?
know.
Who won the Riders' Choices or
It's
Awards?
not on anyone's Instagram.
Well, periodically
Well,
it popped up. And again,
I did see on Function that
It's nowhere on their
it looks
website.
as if Luke Austin is the Rider of the Year.
Nice.
But
I
that's
did see that.
That's the only one I can find.
right. Again, from who we follow, I didn't see like a
Yeah.
Rachel Cisa go, thank you for the award. So I don't know how to find it. And that's a bit of the, obviously, we didn't win because no one told us. So, like the categories we were in. So it's like, oh, who won that? It'd be really cool to just know so you can celebrate those things. And this isn't just the Float Life Fest. I think,
Well-
again, the race coordinators, they got a lot of
On their
to
plates.
play. I don't think
Yeah.
it's their role to do it. Somewhere we got to have it where you can follow this stuff. Because it would make it easier as the fans to come in. Like Windman's this weekend. And we've been a part of the discussion of a lot of things of the race this weekend. Never once have even I brought it up like, hey, who's documenting? How's there a way for people to follow this at home? It would be cool if we were bringing in people that were doing timing chips, that you could follow the times
that's
through
gonna-
the timers. Because we go to cross-country meets, Holly and I do for our kids.
And it's like
you can go to a website and you can see almost
Which-
instantaneously when they cross the finish line their time.
Which you can do that, like, I mean, like they had it, used to have it at Windman where it was like on the TV and you could look up the results on your phone. You went to that website.
You have to have like the right website.
But you have to have the exact right. But again, even with that, it's like everybody in Instagram's got to go follow that, or everybody's got, how do you? Oh, I meant to ask for that to wipe it off.
I just shook it
He-
all over my hand. I think I must have
just
cracked
ditch it.
He did a total number on this. I meant to grab it. I wiped your water bottle off.
everywhere.
Here.
I was gonna just guzzle it.
So are you saying that maybe like for the next racing circuit that could be something that is prioritized better? Is that what you're saying?
I just think, and we were gonna make this a segment in the winter, and maybe we'll come back to it. Just what are the improvements that you can do to the ORL circuit? I think one of the first things you got to do in that racing league is there's got to be a better stipulation of what is a premier race, and what is not a premier race. That, in my opinion, because it's
Well, that was on the ORL website.
of what made a premier race.
Yeah.
No. If I just remember right, it just told us this is a
This
premier
one
race.
is premier. Did they say the difference between premier and
Like,
sanction?
how does something is definitely
You
wrong
broke
with this.
it.
I must have, huh? This is
Wah,
Or I
wah.
don't
Here,
have
do
the
you
lid
want to
on
pour
it.
it into here?
maybe I don't have the lid on right. Okay, anyways, but does that make sense? Like, you go on there, I think we're good. I go on there and it just says premier.
Well, let me look.
So I think helping us understand this is a premier race because of terrain. Like, I really think
It had regional sanctioned races. Boom, boom, boom.
what makes them that.
Premier sanctioned races. Boom, 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 boom. And then the world championship.
But it doesn't tell me why it's a premier race.
No, I don't know why.
Right. Well, that's my point.
Why
'cause-
do we need to know why?
Well, I think that because it helps me understand that, premier races, that's more difficult. So that's why it should be more points. Because I when we went to Texas, that was a tough course.
Wait, Float Life this past weekend was a premier race, so whoever won that goes to race for the rail?
No.
Race to the
Oh,
rail already
no.
happened.
Right, but that was the rule for the others.
But that's some of the controversy. Like,
Not controversial.
not controversy, not a right word, but it doesn't count towards the next year. So
Okay.
that's
So you want Onewheel to answer these questions.
No, I don't think one
no,
wheel.
it's not
Somebody
necessarily
needs to, though.
like
But it's Onewheel that's it's on their website.
Right. We just need, like, to what you're even suggesting in that is the Float Life Fest is the end of the season. And what it is you get the riders' points. Like, see, Austin could have gone and he won ORL race, and he could also go to the Float Life Fest and still score enough points to be the overall champion of
Right.
points. That's why you would
There's
want
a
to go
whole
race
season.
to that.
Yeah,
right.
that's motivating to go. There's a whole season of points.
Right. So then that leads me to the question of, well, did Austin win it? Did he win the overall points, or is that function saying it was Luke Austin that won it, or was he the rider of the year?
I think
Choice
he was
award?
both. I thought.
See?
I read it as he was.
And we're
he was
close to this
both.
sport, and it's very confusing. That's
I'm gonna look it up quick.
that's some of the things that I'm trying to like. It helps if it's confusing for people that are really close to the sport.
Well-
the fringe people are going, I don't understand, and it makes it the barrier to entry is hard.
Right.
Because like when you go to and not if you might like baseball, football, or you might not, but the barrier to entry is the
get
overall winner
Someone-
goes to the Super Bowl of the NFC and the AFC. That's very cut and dry.
Someone says season should start immediately after race for the rail. What do you think about that?
Okay, I'm done. It's still doing it. It's all over
You
me.
broke it. Oh, here's
What a
Frank's
hot
right
Hot
mess.
mess. What a hot mess
Here,
today,
put
everyone.
it in this.
Do you need help?
I need help. I need what
I'm
I
looking
need.
for that.
What
I'm looking.
I need, everybody, is I need you two to talk while I guzzle this.
What is
We
that
can-
noise?
What noise? What are you talking about?
It
I
sounded
thought
like
I
somebody
heard,
was
like
singing.
a small child singing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, our tech crew.
I started
is,
to get a little scared. Like
Wow.
scary
tech
movie.
crew
Guys,
is singing.
Okay, you need us
this
to
is
talk.
this is a lot. Okay.
Okay, Holly, do you think that the race season should start immediately after Race for the Rail? I think there should be some sort of off season. But
Well,
what would really work in it?
I
is-
think if you're gonna call it a premier sanctioned race, it should count towards something. Otherwise, it doesn't. It's just another race, you know. But
What's wrong with you?
you got it on your shirt.
I got it
Also,
everywhere.
why can't you just wait till this is over?
Because no one wants to drink warm reds and greens.
We have 30 minutes left.
That's fine. I want to.
guys, this
Will
is.
you just let me drink in
Okay,
peace?
yeah,
Yeah.
Holly, you were talking.
I'm just saying, if it's gonna be labeled as the premier, like it should be counted as you. Now they didn't do it in any of the. If you got first only, you made it to Race for the Rails, but that is not the case. So why label it the premier for this?
Yeah, I think what is the most confusing about all of this is where the Float Life Fest one was placed, and that why not just after? And maybe I'm sure there's so many reasons.
And
for
I
both,
think
so.
as a growing sport, it's not just the athletes that make the sport grow. That's a huge part of it, but it is a fan base that. So if fans can get a hold of it and understand it and buy into it, the sport grows for a longevity of people are going to want to watch it over and over and over. So at the moment, if it's hard to follow for somebody that's hasn't experienced the community, they'll take it or leave it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's both. I think any sport, you need both. You can't have... If you want the prize purses to grow in these races, you need the Groms, amateurs to attend and pay for the race so that there's a bigger prize purse. You also need to be able to have a way for people to view this, because then you can charge smaller fee for people to come in and view the actual race, which brings more revenue to the event, which allows pros to be able to potentially make more money and more advantageous to travel. I know we're a young sport, but you got to have both. So therefore, you got to create a system where the fans can understand it easily, know what they're rooting for, and it makes sense. Because right now, when you have a race that is a premier race after a Race for the Rail, somebody's going, that's weird. Unless. Here's where I think you change some of the rules. I raced Ironman for a long time, and their race season was October to October, so similar to ORL. There was always a couple races on the other side of October that you could go and qualify for Hawaii. So what pros would do, they would go, if they made it to Hawaii, they would go race that race. As soon as they were done with that, typically it was 2 weeks later, Florida would have their Ironman. a bunch of pros would go over to there and try to qualify for the next season. So that race, though it was outside of the calendar year of that, it was actually the first race of the next year.
So they do typically and ideally 2 races a year.
For the Ironman, well, it's a bit like Onewheel. The more races you do, the more money you make. From your sponsors, the more points you can earn. Like if you don't qualify for beginning to spot 1 or 2, you start banking points earlier. And then what happens is, especially for those that qualify, now you have a legitimate off season because I qualified. I can take longer to heal.
You can kick back up in April or whatever.
I'm already fit as well.
Right.
I've already got it dialed in. And then I don't have to worry about all the new rules of the boards or bikes and all those things in the new until I get to the championship. So if you took this is then how like a Windman race could be brought into the ORL is, okay, Windman is great in the fall, the beauty of it, the weather. Okay, now there's 2 chances to start banking points for the next season because not every trail system is going to give up prime time or prime season for their mountain bikers to ride to shut it down for a weekend. But you get into the school year, like a Windman is like, oh, cool, we're not as busy. It's not as touristy right now because the school's in. This is easy for us to offer you our trail system. So sure, let's go do that.
As opposed to fitting it into the summer schedule is what you're saying. Yeah.
But then all of a sudden that race becomes a bigger race. It has ORL on it. It would draw more people, more pros to it, more people to come watch because you have a chance to watch some of these pros. Again, this is an idea. It doesn't need to go this way. It's just a simple idea on how to maybe make the season more enjoyable. And again, coming in to the chat today, we are allowing you to ask any questions to the 3 of us. We will answer them the best we can
if we want to.
Yeah, true. We'll be very we would love to be able to talk about anything you want to talk about today. And we got onto ORL there because of.
I think you get onto this because you get super passionate about wanting the sport to grow, and you're right. You got to have it both ways. It's got to be changing. The athletes got to be able to adjust to different things that come up, new technology, new ideas. But if you don't have a fan base,
it's hard to.
You're not going to get.
It's
anybody watching
hard to get fans to come out to a trail system when they can't see.
Right.
You get to see them start and finish, and that's. I mean, hear me. I enjoy the sport. I have the privilege to be in the trails and watching people fly by and film and things of that nature. So I have a very different perspective. But this is not one of those things as our kids race, Holly's in our kids race. We're not telling the grandparents to come watch because there's nothing to be watched.
You just wait for them to get back to wherever that central location is.
So I'm telling you, this is prime picking for anyone who wants to start a race system that allows that to happen. You're going to be one of the premier destinations for families because all of a sudden I can bring everybody and they get to watch the whole thing and root on everybody and be wowed by the sport. I think what makes one of the reasons snowboarding really boomed was the coverage of it. Magazine posts, the media, that you could have a venue to go watch a half pipe. See, it became very spectator-orientated, very fun to be able to watch, whereas downhill skiing is fun to do. Unless there's video coverage, it's not that great to spectate because all you're seeing is somebody come down for a last few yards or something. Way cooler to be able to just pile in at the bottom of a half pipe out on a snowy slope and watch the whole run because now all of a sudden you got fans everywhere. That's great. We need fans to grow it. It's prime picking for somebody that can go, this venue will support fans. Now, the fans have to come out to be able to enjoy it as well, but I don't know. And somebody's going, why don't you do it? We have some ideas. I think the idea is, I don't know how to scale it down to be practical because mine's like, oh, let's ride on the moon. It's just not practical. But hey, Lil, did you see that on, I think it's 2K25? Did you see that they have a group ride of one-wheelers to a basketball game. Have you seen this?
What? In 2025?
It's a video game.
Okay, because that's next year.
Yeah, but it's the next it's the basketball season.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, YouTube it real quick.
Okay.
There's a group of one-wheelers in that video game.
But
that
it's a
are
video
headed-
game made
yeah.
up. It's like looks
And
like a
they
video.
tell a story. And
What am I
like,
looking at?
A group's
2K?
going.
2K25 basketball, one wheel clip, and see what pops up. I don't know if it'll actually pop up. We meant to rip it.
Yeah, I see it.
You see it? Okay. See what? Let me
it
make
awesome?
sure you see what I want you to see, though. Spin it to me. Yeah, look at that.
That's in a video
And
game.
look, he
That's
the
sweet.
proper dismount and everything, and then he's going to the basketball arena.
Do they have helmets on?
No.
Yeah, for sure.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. Like, what are you? A
Well,
Karen?
here's another question for you.
That's hilarious.
Isn't that awesome?
It's
Inside
funny.
the video
Oh,
game.
One Wheel posted it.
Yeah, they did. It's been all over the internet for a
One
while.
Wheel is life, they said.
That's so
Lily,
fun.
Lily is anti-social media for a while, so that if you're like,
I'm not anti.
what?
I'm not anti, I'm just not on there.
Well,
Yeah, and I've been hearing these things and I'm like, dang, this is why I'm not on there.
okay, cool.
But like from people from my peers that are into certain things. And I'm like, I am not into that.
Am I one of them?
You have not mentioned this TV show that's trending right now,
Oh.
and all my friends know
The
about it.
chimp one?
They all
Oh.
know about it from social media, and they all are asking if I have Hulu to watch it. And I'm like,
Oh.
I do not need to get sucked into this.
Oh, social media. Hey, how about, did you see the new Lunchables that dropped?
No, let me.
This
how do I find
is-
them? What do I Google? Lunchables.
You see new Lunchables. They're not calling it Lunchables, but it's with Mr. Beast. It's all YouTubers that are pushing it, and it's supposed to
Lunchables
be,
uploaded.
it's like healthy version. It's got Prime in it as the
Prime?
drink. Yeah, you know
Oh.
the Prime drink.
Sure.
What is it called? Like,
I don't know. Uploaded? That's what you just said, right?
is that what it is?
Yeah.
it is?
Lunchables uploaded.
Jake
Deep
Paul
dish.
is another one. Logan, is it Logan Paul or Jake Paul? Jake Paul. Mr. Beast, Jake Paul, and somebody else on YouTube.
Lunchly. How Mr. Beast, Logan Paul are challenging Lunchables.
Yeah.
And KSI are challenging Lunchables.
Yeah, so they put these three. It's supposed to be a healthier version when you really
Yeah,
get to,
I've seen these. Have
You have?
fun for lunch. Yeah.
you
I've seen
should
these.
bring them on a Wednesday night
Yeah, that's
and distribute them
genius.
too. Yeah, I'm here for you.
Thank you.
Okay, what's the next question?
Oh,
said you had a
what were your favorite songs of the summer?
I don't think they're supposed to be healthy, by the way, Scott.
Healthier.
Oh, sure. Okay. got it.
than the Lunchables. That's what their shtick is. Songs of the summer. I see. I am a bit old school, and I'm not much of a single guy. I rebel against the Spotify's of the world, where it just gives me a single. I'm much more of an album guy, and I really like Noah Kahan's latest album. Why are you
The
chuckling?
live album.
Yeah.
Songs of the Summer.
Oh, there it is. All it comes together.
No. I'm just saying it's a song of
You do need a bleeping machine
Yeah.
when
you wanna listen to
he
him.
talks, but his songs are so like descriptive. It's so great. Speaking of descriptive, this makes me think of Taylor Swift. Fall Guy. Remember the movie that came out this
Yeah.
summer, Fall Guy? Lily,
Ryan
there-
Gosling.
you haven't seen it, right?
No, I haven't.
Oh man, there's gonna be a moment where you're gonna lose it. He's a stunt guy, right? Like, so kind of rough, tough guy, muscles out the wazoo,
Okay.
and he's in his car listening to a Taylor Swift song, just bawling his
Really
eyes
funny.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. Do you know what song it was?
out. No, because I'm not a Swiftie, but it's hilarious.
Cool.
I can't. I
And then
know what song it was.
because
I can't
his
remember
girl
it.
broke up with him, and so the song's telling the story of the deal with his girl, and she knocks on the window when the song's blaring.
You don't remember the song? That's so
No.
Just
funny.
look it up. Fall Guy, Taylor Swift, truck scene.
Yeah, you'll think it's great.
You'll lose it over there. So hopefully that answered your question. Singles, man. Oh,
Well, they didn't necessarily say singles, just your summer.
so this would be end of the summer. I really like Coldplay's "Pray."
yeah,
That's
yeah,
so
we listened
good.
to that. I was gonna say, I don't typically just go on and turn on music. If my kids have it on or you put it on. Or
What are
something.
you trying
It's
to?
enchanted. That's hilarious.
Can you see the scene? Should have
Yeah.
watched the scene.
Yeah, it's funny.
We would play, but we get a copy strike. Okay, Holly, you were saying.
No, it's all too well. I'm so bad. Sorry.
She's so interrupting.
Sorry.
Interrupting Nelly
Yeah.
here.
I'll have to
I
watch
mean,
it.
I would agree. The Coldplay "Pray" that was a great one.
Lily didn't like it.
It's all right. I don't
But
mind it.
I think the last time I was like, ooh, this is enjoyable was just whatever last week you just put Dave Matthews on.
Yeah, but that was live, and that
But it was just
forever ago.
like, I mean, it's not
go
new
wrong with
music, but it was just
Dave.
like, that's it. Classic.
Classic Dave Matthews. Okay, how about you for Lil?
I would agree with Noah Khan. Listen to him like all summer. I kind of like the new Post Malone album, Country. I only kind of like it when I'm with my husband, though. Don't like it on my own. It's not the vibe.
It's not the vibe.
There's so much to
No.
unpack there.
But there's a Onewheel podcast. There's a song on there called Nosedive. It's good. I like it.
Oh, they're on One
On
Wheels.
Post Malone's new album, it's a country album. This song with Lainey Wilson, it's called Nosedive.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was not following
I
what
was
you were
like,
The song
saying.
is called
Podcast, what?
Nosedive.
I thought you said on the One Wheel podcast, there's Nosedive.
No, on that album. There's
Okay,
a
I'm
song
tracking.
called Nosedive.
I'm tracking. Okay, fair enough.
Anyways, that's all.
Okay, let's talk about the.
Oh, you got a lot of people chatting about
What?
like being able to videotape. Garrett just says I got to back up and track it a little bit better. There's got to be a fairly large camera production crew filming live. Like they're just talking about like
The One Wheel
being able to make
race.
it viewable better.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like these races are small, not bringing enough revenue to go pay for
Right,
big video
right.
stuff. That's even true of One Wheel and Race for the Rail.
Right.
They don't.
The
They're not
capacity on that.
sinking bajillion dollars into filming that event. They're doing a great job with what they got, but you're not going to get what. You're not getting what Shaun White got on the half pipe, nor is
Right.
the half pipe's way easier to film.
Well,
you need
race-
about 6 cameras, and that's probably overkill on a half pipe, where you capture the whole thing. Where a mile long course, you need cameras everywhere because you can't.
Yeah, you have to-
You either got to change the format of the race because when like going back to Race of the Rail, you have Austin so far ahead that he's no longer in the storyline because you can't film him and those in the back, and both matter. But Austin isn't that entertaining because he's literally running away with the thing. But if he was to fall,
And someone's
you don't
coming-
get that on
yeah.
camera. You miss the story, right? So
Now-
there's a tension in this. Like I'm not saying that
It has to. You're just
No, I'm-
thinking. You're just.
I'm not saying
screaming.
this is possible either this year because it's all a money thing. Unless somebody comes along and says, we see something in this, let's see if we can film this thing. Because drone shots are great. The drone shots from above, that's fine.
Well, and even Race for the Rails, what they do to be able to show it to the crew that's there, and even if you're following it online, is a lot like that. You still get to see some of it. That's more than what the other races that are through trails and mountains that you don't get to see, you know?
Yes.
So
But someone that doesn't know the sport, are they going to lock into just a over the top of the head shot where it's hard to tell who's who? That's hard. Again, I hear my heart on this. I'm not saying that.
No, we just need some big video production
Yeah.
company to say, that
I
looks
love
awesome.
that
We're
I have
coming
that
to every race.
I love that I have that. But when we watch it through our parents watching those things, they're confused because it's like, well, who's what? Race for the Rail, they up it, and at least there's commentary under it, so you're following. Those other races, it's loose commentary, and it's hard to follow what's going on. I think one of the races that did it quite well was in North Carolina. Is it Wheel Scorchers, where Austin, a fan walked out in the middle of the course on Austin?
Yeah,
right?
Wheel Scorcher.
Yeah, that was pretty well filmed in that I could follow it a little bit, but then it became, well, whatever happened with Austin, right? You didn't get the whole picture of what was happening at that event as well, because it was
So
like,
you got to have somebody that's videotaping, but good enough to follow the pros and commentate while they're videotaping.
oh yeah, that
To
they're
be able to see, like, because even the commentators are not up there in the trail. So it's like you're only going on what the one little thing that you can
and maybe
see.
it's just
No, it's just thinking we need stuff. We need
and I think let's take as this it's now off season for Race for the Rail. There is Windman this weekend, but we are approaching that off season. Maybe one of the events next year will create a track that is for foot hooks and display what you can do with foot hooks. Like, put it out in the open.
Like sending it over, launching over.
Yeah,
ramps.
launching. Like when you watch Luke Austin and he's getting all that air, let's put that in a race. That's like, whoa. I like, that's, give me more of that to see, because that's like craziness. So let's give that to people. Let's show them what it looks like to have hooks on and send it over a tabletop. Because
that's what will wow people.
Right. Like, let's not just send them off into the woods and go, what does it really matter? No, put it like, I think at dirt surfers in Arkansas, that where all the vendors are in, it's the beginning of Genesis, the trailhead, Lil, you know where I am?
Yep.
Imagine if we brought in an oval track of dirt and you put tabletops and you put all the features in right there. And you're going to hold a race for a select few people. And your spectators can come watch the whole thing and make it a 5-lap thing. And you're just getting to watch the whole thing. That would be so much fun.
Well, which race do they say is the most spectator friendly? It's out.
The Las Vegas one?
Is it Vegas?
I think that's right.
That is a track that's...
Well, no, not the pump track. That's Oak City Shred Fest.
But
they have that pump track thing.
The Vegas one is Let It Ride. There's no trees and stuff in the way, so you can kind of see everybody zigzagging.
Yeah.
Which is great. That'd be really easy to film because you don't have trees in your way. I think some of those things, for those that can't make to all the events, if there's a way for them to follow those events, it's like you follow motocross and you can go and follow the events and who's winning and how the outcomes are, or Ironman. I can go and see Ironman footage. Now, the issue in all of this, people can do it once for free, but they can't, if they're not making a livelihood of it, it's not going to happen. So maybe I'm spending too much time on it, except for I do think if we're going hooks next year, let's display them. Let's put them out in the open and let everybody see it and be wowed and be able to send clips online of people actually sending it and landing it. Because if we're sending it in... Here's what I see a lot of times on these clips is we've got a lot of people full send mode, but they have no landing ramp, so they're going to flat. And rarely do you see that in sports of mountain bike, BMX, or dirt bikes. They're not usually landing to flat. They're going to get air, and then they got a landing ramp to make the transition smooth. If we have some of that going on in our sport, we're going to start seeing, like, that's what Luke Austin's doing. He is building launch ramps to landing ramps, and it's like, yeah, and just start moving that stuff away from each other. It'd be cool to see Jeff's reappearance on the scene of that, because he was sending it pretty big as well in filming those things. Been missing that guy's presence on social media. It's worth to note. Jeff, if you're watching, we're missing you. I should probably.
Where is he?
He just hasn't been on social media.
Oh.
He's just not on social media. He's probably just a busy guy. Okay. Before any other final questions that we this is your chance to fire him away.
One guy says, I've not ridden my Onewheel for over 12 months after getting a puncture, and I can't find anyone local in the UK to repair it. Realistically, how easy is it to damage it if I try replacing it myself?
The tire?
I'm guessing that's what they
Yeah,
mean.
that's so simple.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And I say that if I could do it when I first got into this, you can totally do it. I would point you to the Float Life's tire changing video first and foremost. That's where I learned. I don't really share any new information on how to change a tire from what they do. Maybe some tweaks here and there, but it's so simple. It is very, very... And I did it without any specialized tools. Just bare hands. Pop the bead with my hand. There are some shortcuts where you could use a 2x4 to do that, but be careful to not break your rim. Very, very easy to do that. If you haven't rode in 12 months and that's the thing holding you back, you got this.
You can do this.
You just watch the video. I'm not going to turn this into
tutorial.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't get enough reds and greens. I spilled them all over the floor.
They were all over the floor, that's for sure.
Didn't it look like a crime scene?
Yeah, those are gross.
What?
As I'm cleaning it up, I was like,
how red it is?
Really good for... inside your body.
I feel good by it. It's my daily
coulda- it
amount of
coulda
reds
just-
and greens.
Could have just been the sand and the dirt it got mixed with.
Oh no,
but
it's kind of sandy and gritty in your mouth.
Ugh.
I mean,
gross.
like, but think about it. If you're gonna blend up your vegetables, it's not turning it into liquid. It's a little grainy.
Like it didn't come up very well. I was like, this probably just like sticks to your insides.
Well, we're gonna find out. I got a colonoscopy in a
Oh my gosh.
They tell me that when you turn 45, you have to do that. What in the world? What kind of world we live in that? Hey, well done.
Hey, you're
Your
close
reward
to-
for getting old.
Go get this checked out. You're closer to 46 than you are 45.
No, I'm closer to 48. 47. I don't know how old I am. I'm 48.
Ollie would know.
47.
You're 45, honey.
I'm not 45
He's
years old.
46.
You're 46.
46.
I'm gonna be 45.
Yeah, look
Wow.
at happy birthday to you, Miss Koleopsky.
You're gonna be-
We're gonna boop right up the
Couple months. Wow.
Babe.
That was
What?
Babe.
gross.
too much.
Yeah, your daughters over there are.
No, this is like a product of getting older. Everyone's
Not that people want to talk about.
What? It's like they tell you have to do this, or you're not a good human, or I don't know. I felt really guilty for not doing
Someone
it for a year and a
says,
half.
"Yo, was just watching your Pine Ass vid and saw you guys were live. Shout out from Longview, Texas."
Hello, Texans, the Longhorns. We just for the first time saw Longhorns up here.
Is that where the Longhorns are? Longview? Or are you just saying that?
Well, Texas
Oh,
is
okay.
where it's.
Yes.
They're down there.
University of Texas?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
And they're the. What's their mascot?
Longhorns.
There you go. You're
I don't know if
tracking.
it's the University of Texas.
I think it's-
Oh, I don't know. Fully.
Texas A&M?
I don't know.
Longhorns? I
I'm
don't know.
not. I'm not.
I'm sure Austin
Anyways,
will tell us.
welcome. I thank you for hanging with us. We are live.
Garrett says that he blends up his raspberry and kale with his teeth.
Like, at the same time,
Dum 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 dum.
I like
don't know,
kale
man.
and I like raspberry.
We grow raspberries around here. I love them. We just go out and pick them. Like we have spring to early summer and then early fall raspberries. So we have them all summer. So delicious. Both types taste totally different. I love going out there in the morning when it's cool and you grab some of those and they are just right. But if you pick them and put them in the fridge for lunch later, not good. They turn into their own smoothie. So then it makes you ask yourself, what do they do to the raspberries that are in the supermarket that stay firm? What do they do to them? Exactly. That face says it all.
I don't know.
Okay. It's kind of crazy. Lil, I heard you went to see a movie the other night with some friends.
Yeah, we saw a movie.
Wait, what's the face for? What?
Because it's could be controversial.
Oh! Have you heard this? What movie she went and saw?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Just
Yeah,
checking.
just like you saying, I'm not going to say who I voted for.
You're not going to say it?
No.
Lily, her heart's racing a little
It's
bit.
not racing. I'm just like, I know what you're doing.
What am I doing?
Everyone at Windman's going to be like, what'd you watch?
Yeah, I'm setting you up to have a
I'll
good...
tell you in person.
In person. Okay, so that's your
It's
question.
not that big of a deal.
Well, you sure are making it a big deal.
No, you're making
The
it a
title
deal,
of it
I'm
is
making
what
up.
makes it feel like a big deal.
Yes.
It's the title.
People are going to know.
Yeah, they might know. They'll put it in there. Lily just doesn't want to be recorded saying the words, right? Is that you just roll your eyes at me?
Yeah, that was a straight eye roll.
She rolled her eyes at me.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, don't say it 2 more times.
It's on my list to see.
Beetlejuice? Have you
Yeah.
seen the first one?
Yeah. Kind of
Really?
creepy.
What? It's like Are you laughing at people's comments?
All right.
What are you writing?
No, yeah, I haven't seen
Oh,
Beetlejuice yet.
she's laughing at the comment, aren't you?
Hey, Scott and crew, what days are you headed to Windman?
Hey, we're headed to Windman.
Friday.
See y'all then.
We'll be up there. It's gonna be a fun
Looking forward
weekend.
to it.
Thank you for changing the awkwardness for Lily to this weekend. It's gonna be a great weekend. Weather looks spectacular. It could be the first year at Windman it doesn't rain. Currently, no rain in the forecast, which is really exciting. It's not too late, I don't think, to sign up. I don't know. I was going to say I believe they're doing a Pine Nest giveaway, but I don't know that if they really are or not. That could just be rumor. It's going to be a good weekend. Very, 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 very good trail system. And again, we'll try to do our best on Instagram to post what's happening and the outcome of the weekend. and should be really cool. I think there's a massive field of amateurs. What is it? Almost 40 people in amateur, and so it's gonna be
I think
that's gonna be a
it's
fun
actually
one to watch play
closer to
out.
50.
And so it's gonna be pretty cool to see. Lily's husband's racing Clydesdale.
He is.
Is he riding your GT?
Yeah. I got some details to sort out with that, but yeah.
Okay. Somebody says Pint S giveaway is confirmed in the
I
chat.
want to win that.
You do?
Yes.
I want to win that.
I want to win that.
No, I want to be able to. I want to be able to put it on the Christmas tree for one of the little grounds around here. You want to deprive them of a gift at Christmas, Lil?
No?
Well, then
It's
you.
just whoever wins the raffle.
But if you put
You
your
have-
name in
They
there,
may
and
not
win,
do it as a
You
raffle.
have 10
It may
people.
be.
I have 2 people.
You might have to buy tickets or something like
yeah,
that.
buy tickets.
Cool.
$50 a ticket. That's made up. I need to make sure that is just everyone knows. I have no idea about it. Okay, just so somebody goes, "What are you doing?" I have no idea.
We don't know.
We don't know. We don't know what we don't know. But get up there, Windman.
gonna be good.
We're bringing from here underneath the Scot Mendenhall and Friends label. We're bringing up 20-some people to come
Almost
help
30
run.
people?
Almost 30 people to help run the race. Be at each of the start gates, end
Not
gates.
run the race.
We are going to
Help
have
it
air
execute.
pumps at the start or finish. Probably more of the finish. It will have first aid kits, some water, just to take care of the racers and be able to support. We'll help with registration on Saturday morning. It's going to be a good weekend. It'll be fun to watch on Sunday, the dual slalom. That thing looks
that's
so
gonna
cool.
be that's a new kind of idea for so
And
it'll
again,
be fun.
oh man, I will look at the videos of it, and there's one spot I think to spectate. But boy, that would be sweet if it was. And I'm not saying go cut all the trees down, but to be able to spectate that thing, that'd be awesome because you can spectate halfway through. I don't know. I'm just saying it's somewhere along the ride you can spectate. Problem is being there, you don't know who wins at the end. So I get to see a moment in time, and then when they get flushed out at the end, I don't know who won. So it's hard to spectate that because it's like, well, who won? And I get it. It's the middle of the woods. What are you going to do? Okay. So at the end of the day, on the topic of what is the life expectancy of your one wheel? It is all determined by you, the owner, and how well you take care of your board. You know, we've rode it through snow, ice, water, no problems. But then there's other people that their board looks at water and it breaks because of water. So, I can't explain all of that because I don't know what everyone's doing to their boards. You might have opened up your board, and when you put the gasket back in, it pinched and there's a hole there and it can leak, right? So all of this really comes down to how you take care of your board. We take care of our boards pretty good around here in the fact if we know we go through water, we don't charge them for 24 hours. We lean them on their side with the battery charging port down so water's not leaking in, and we let it dry out before we ever plug it in. We make sure in the winter battery management is happening. We ride through the winter as well, so they're not really stagnant for very long. There's just a lot of things we do that keep our boards running long term. We switch out the bearings because once those start to rust up, it's going to make your motor have to work harder. And then once we start diagnosing some sounds, we do some of the necessary things to fix it before it becomes a massive problem. And so some of those things is a one-wheeler. You got to be able to start learning some of the things that your board is doing and going, oh, I better address that before it becomes a ginormous problem. And recently, we've been trying to diagnose one of our boards here, and it wasn't a one-wheel thing. It was a board with 357s on it. And we've had those for a long time. And just the mechanism of the 357s, the axle bolt situation, because if you don't own these, you have the rails, but in order to install the rails, you have to put a axle carrier onto your one wheel. It's meant to be safer for your axle, but you bolt those on, and then you bolt to that your rails. And for whatever reason, those rails were just malfunctioning in the fact they would make our one wheel, one of our kids' one wheels, sound really bizarre. And we did
a
everything.
weird hum, yeah.
We've showed it here before. We switched out the stators, and it was okay for a week, and then all of a sudden the noise came out. So it was like, okay, it's not a motor, because then we took that entire motor and put it on another one wheel, no problems. We did so much troubleshooting, and then we just switched the rails, and the problem went away. And it's just troubleshooting and not allowing the board to continue to function poorly is troubleshooting those. And I'm not putting down 357s. It could just be the long-term use of those that just didn't work quite as well in the conditions we were having. And honestly, because it's a GT board and it's stuck unlevel, because when we updated it, it didn't go back to factory settings. It's still unlevel, so we can't re-level that board. WTFs work really great on it. So shout out to the Float Life for us having WTFs laying around here that we could slap on, and no problem. But that uses the axle carrier or bolt system from Onewheel, and there's no weird sounds in any of those things. So you want to have longevity of your board, take care of the maintenance. Lily's not had any problems with her board. That's because she brings it into the office all the time when she's got problems.
Yeah, I had a tire problem.
And we fixed it.
Thank you.
Remember the first time you had a tire problem? Your then boyfriend, it was a bit of a rite of passage, I think, if he could fix your...
Oh, that was so long ago.
So long ago on your pint.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
That's how you should have known right
No,
there.
that wasn't on my pint. That was on my plus.
Your plus.
Uh-huh.
Back in the day.
Someone wants to know if you still have your original board that you started with.
Nope.
That was the...
We have one of the XRs, but we purchased a second XR. We have that one. A lot of times when we start getting too many Onewheels around here, I'm not a nostalgic guy. We just give it away to
But
people.
you kept those bumpers.
Yeah. These aren't bumpers, though.
Well, whatever.
Float plates.
Float plates.
Yeah, but these aren't in the way, and this is pretty cool. You don't think so?
Yeah, it's sweet.
Have you ever seen these?
Yes.
When?
Yours. Those.
You've never seen. You didn't even know what they were.
Float plates. What's
You-
the difference between that and a bumper? You put them on top.
This was
Yeah?
before they had the ability to do bumpers.
Got it.
But this was allowing you to. They're a bit slippery.
You put them on top of the bumpers.
Yeah, it did make your board extra heavy. But I give all 'em away. Just not gonna hang around to them or onto them. So somebody one day was like, "Oh, I wish I had an XR," and I went in and gave him an XR. Don't ask me. Oh, I wish I had a GTS this weekend. I only
Not
have
gonna
one.
happen.
Yeah, not gonna. We're trying to figure out how to. I
Get
gotta whisper
more.
this. We're trying to get 4 under the Christmas tree this year. 4. That's $8,400.
That's insane.
Yeah. I'm gonna sell a kidney.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, now you do. It's yeah. Merry Christmas. What do you think? It's a good idea.
Wow.
Can you hear them?
What if this was? Hold on. Seriously, let's just for a moment. For everybody says we're so outspoken. What if we?
No.
what if we
Usually
did-
it's you're so loud.
or loud? What if we did a podcast like this, and this is just how we whisper?
I can barely hear you, so I'm out.
What?
Can you guys actually hear us online?
Yeah, can you hear us online? Give us thumbs up. The
comment in the
emoji.
chat.
Give us the emoji of thumbs up if you can hear us right now.
This is just weird. What if someone
you
logged
can-
on?
This is
See you guys whispering.
This is the AM channel version of Scot and Friends.
AM.
AM, yeah, you know, right?
Yeah, I
FM,
get
AM.
it, I
When's
get
the last time you put your radio in your car in AM?
I don't know.
I did it when I traveled to Race for the Rails so I could hear about the traffic.
Well, better start the multi GTS fund for y'all then. Huh?
Yeah, selling a kidney right now. Want it? Somebody, that's a joke. I'm not really selling it. Don't go, oh, yeah, I'll take it.
Oh,
Weird.
it's got Mendenhall's kidney.
Yeah, it's worth
'Cause
nothing.
that's how it works.
Someone says yes.
Lee
We
says-
hear you.
See, thank you. Thank you. This is informative and entertainment, okay? It's both.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it?
I'm sure it's so entertaining.
Yeah, come on. You can't see this, but Lily, formerly known as Willie.
What?
Willie.
Willie Leaner.
I just took her old last name and mashed
Did
it
you
with
hear the girls start
They
dying
lost
laughing?
it.
Willie Leaner.
Oh, there you go. You already got 20
Oh,
bucks.
Woo! Right
Garrett.
there.
Garrett,
That guy's a great job.
GTS
Thank you.
funds.
Yeah, come on. It's a
Garrett,
killer.
you're so great.
We've talked about how we got to get sponsors on board for this. If we're going to be a racing family, it's going to be 8. We are actively pursuing sponsorships to help get all the kids to races next year, get them the gear and all that stuff. So thank you for that. We really are. We've talked about it a lot in the last couple of weeks. How are we going to do the next race season, get everybody in and get them all the
and
gear?
level up. Get them
Yeah.
where they need to be.
Yeah, all our kids are racing a lot of times Vesks and GTSs with GTs.
Oh,
And so-
I thought you were saying
They're racing against.
they're
Yeah.
racing against. Yeah.
So thank you. That's great. So
That's
when you start
super
seeing
kind
them,
of you. That's going to the race fund.
But Lily Wiener was her former artist name. Now it's Lily Arnold. She has pickles sitting on her desk in a package.
Yeah.
And you can't see it. So that's how you know this is a comic show.
Pickle erasers.
Yeah.
I
It's
love
the weirdest thing.
pickles. I'm about to go get me some.
You are? We pickled some pickles. We pickled
yeah,
some
we need to
cucumbers.
try
You can have those.
Thanks.
Try them.
We need to try them.
You got to be honest.
They
If
might
they
not be
suck,
good.
I will be honest.
let us know.
I've tried multiple times and they have not been
Yeah, we're
good.
not winning. So if you have a good recipe for some pickles, let us know. We just canned some salsa. That's
Smoked.
good. Smoked
salsa.
salsa. Then canned it.
Right.
What would you say about us, Lil? Your friends, are we what?
You're pretty cool.
Are we farmers or gardeners?
What? I would say neither. You have a garden.
But we're not gardeners.
No.
What makes a gardener?
A gardener is someone who gardens more than just food. I
A
would
gardener,
say.
a gardener is someone that
Gardener is
has
someone
one of
that-
those little tiny spray
You got another
bottles.
$20. Look at that. $40 in.
It's coming in. Oh man! Oh, I got a question that reminds me.
What did you just knock off?
Okay, I brought these in.
Oh.
We're gonna end with a quiz here. Thank you for the generosity. Seriously,
You guys, that's nice of you, Sean.
we
Paul,
are
thank
honestly
you.
gonna. We don't take that and do something other than what we're saying with it. That's going into GTS's funds. That's just gonna sit there in an account. So thank you. That's so kind. We did not mention any of that, but maybe we need to from here. Lily, what does this stand for? Everyone at home, you can see this. Please do not cheat and tell her. What does WD-40
I don't
stand
know.
for?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I've never known.
Have you ever used it?
Yeah.
Why are you scowling at it like
I'm
that
trying to
helps?
see if it says.
It sprays two ways. No, take a guess. WD-40. What does it stand for?
I can't think of anything.
No, a guess.
World Demo 40. I don't know.
Holly, do you know?
Wind down
Really?
at the age of 40.
Oh, that's the goal. It's water displacement, and it took them 40 tries.
Water displacement. Interesting.
To make it.
Huh.
But
'Kay.
that's okay.
What?
Is it supposed to displace water?
Yes.
Oh.
Hence-
Drives out moisture, I see.
Yeah, okay. How about this? What's this?
What in
Ooh,
the
what is
world?
that?
It's called sea foam. What do you think that would be for? Do you need to
I-
hold it? What would
It's
you
for
use?
motor treatment.
Yeah, but for what reason?
If
They
something
both
gets,
are alike.
If something gets too much salt in it.
Oh. Okay, how?
What?
Sea foam.
What?
Sea foam.
I think you're saying they're both alike, but I think one actually
Adds water.
hurts and one helps.
One adds water
What?
versus displaces water.
I don't think seafoam adds water. I don't know.
This is water displacement.
Water
So
displacement.
it helps dry things out, keeps rust from coming around. Water displacement. This you put into gas, and it keeps the water from ruining your gas.
Interesting.
Similar. There you go. You guys been educated. How do you feel about that?
My brain is wrinkled.
You want to
Thank
test me on
you.
anything, Lil?
No.
Why? I
don't
wanted
need
to be tested.
I don't need to test you.
Okay, Holly, you want to test me on anything? This is your chance. Wow, okay.
I test you to spray those in your eyes.
That's hilarious. I want to see
You have
that.
glasses on, so it won't
That's not
matter.
funny. But historic, you didn't put it on mom there. She was all talking and giggling. What were you doing? I look over there.
You know,
Historic's got her
she
head
was-
asleep on the
She
switcher.
was laughing, and she was.
Were you laughing?
just-
What were you doing?
She was thinking about how her Christmas is ruined because she knows what she's going to get. Maybe.
You couldn't see on the
She-
monitor?
She has a little tiny monitor that's like this
It's
big.
an inch by inch.
And so she can't tell what's on it.
What is this, Mom? What is
Although she could simply just lean back and look up, and she'd be fine.
this? It hurts my neck. Okay, everybody. Lily is saying time has come for us to say goodbye. Lily, any last thoughts to those that are watching today?
See you at Windman if you're going to
That's
be
it?
there.
They were hoping you were going to tell them what movie you watched. Oh, right.
Goodbye, everyone.
Garrett said that he went and rode Elm Creek the other day.
What?
Yeah, pretty fun.
I didn't want to ride.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
He wanted us to go.
What?
I'm sure. Because he said it in the chat last week.
You guys are like chat filters. Okay, Holly, any last thoughts? Anything you want to
No
say to the
famous
wonderful?
last words.
What?
Thank you for giving
Yeah.
the money. Appreciate
What movie
it.
did Lily go see? Okay, everybody. I did not go see that movie.
Bye, guys.
Can't wait to hear what Lily says. This is great. I'm a good friend.
She's
All right,
knocking
everybody.
things over.
She's walking out. Look at it. She's just walked out. Look at it. There's no one at her chair anymore. Look at that. Oh, man. Don't ask her. Don't ask her. All right,
If
everybody.
you're going to be at Windman, we'll see you this weekend.
Have a great week. Can't wait to see you all at Windman. This has been a great, fun, all over the place chat. What?
Garrett messaged Lily, but she's not on social media.
Oh, that's it. See, that's how we missed it.
Sorry, Garrett.
Sorry, Garrett. That is Lily.
Message Holly.
Yeah, message Holly would be better, or me. Maybe you did message me, and I suck at that too. So sorry, Garrett. We missed you.
Sorry,
We'll see
we
you
will
this
see you
weekend.
at Windman. Get some riding in.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.
Get out there, ride your one wheel. Be safe. Adios.